just arrived. We're getting to go national champs, baby.
Let's go, baby. Natty champ. When your best player is your hardest worker and your best teammate, that sets this bar pretty high for the rest of your team.
This is what it's all about right here.
We are the champions. We are the champions.
This is what it's all about. We're losers, because we are the champions. Woo! Cornell national champions. We're back.
Yes.
The Mitchell Pehlke Lacrosse Show presented by 𝐓𝐇𝐄 𝐋𝐀𝐂𝐑𝐎𝐒. We're here in the Cornell tailgate. Post-championship. Let's go. How we feeling?
Cornell national champions, baby.
National
2025.
champs. We're back. Post-win, we did Notre Dame last year. We're back doing Cornell. Almost a perfect season. 𝐍𝐄𝐋𝐿 𝐍𝐄𝐿, the boys won it. Hoagie, how we doing?
Cornell, great. Cornell national champions. They beat Maryland. You know, 𝐍𝐄𝐋𝐿 bookends his career. Lost as a freshman to Maryland in a national title game. Finishes it right. Same team. This time he's holding up the trophy.
This time he's holding up the
As
trophy.
Duke said last week, he can't go to bed at night without seeing this. I said I can't imagine a world where CJ's not running to the stands with that trophy. And it came true today.
It did. It came true. Yep. Yeah, and a great game, start to finish. Maryland was in it the whole way.
Yep.
You know, there was no point where Cornell ran away with it. Awesome performance, great first half, great second half. Loved it all the way around.
First national championship for Cornell since 1977.
Bang!
48 years till they last
48
trophy.
drought.
48 long
CJ
years.
ties the single season record for goals with 82.
Yes.
I think personally, start off the bat, that's the best regular season, one season showcase out of somebody. Tewaaraton, most outstanding player, national championship, 𝐍𝐄𝐋𝐿, best
like the
season out of a
triple
player of
crown.
all time.
Yep.
Best college player of all time?
Top 3 at least.
Okay.
Wow,
We're going
okay.
to get there at the end of the show. Stay tuned. That's interesting, though. We saw, 2-3 years ago, Maryland, roles will reverse, beat Cornell here in 22.
Yep.
Now we're here. Cornell wins. What does this mean for Buczek and the Big Red?
It's a lot.
He got the monkey off his back.
The monkey's off the back.
Yeah.
The monkey's
Monkey's
off
off the back.
He brings Cornell their first championship. Played at Cornell from 2011 to 2015.
Yep.
Yes.
Plays for the Atlas. I mean, talk about, he's got this program heading in the right direction.
Oh.
Mitch, I know you as an Ohio State guy, you want him as your coach.
I mean,
I'm not going to say anything, but I will say something. I was there in the fall doing a full documentary on this team, and the title of that video was, "This is the tightest." Whoa, my man, come on.
I love it, I love it, I love it.
They are the
He said, "I
tightest
don't
team
care."
in Division I lacrosse, and I said it. I might have called it in October, November, whenever I did the video, but I saw it then. Walker Wallace, 𝐍𝐄𝐋𝐿, all those captains, one of the tightest teams, and that's what
What did you
Cornell and
mean
the
by
Big Red bring.
tightest?
The tightest team in Division I lacrosse. I called it. Championship Monday. I might have said in the
Mitch,
video.
what's that
Go
called?
back
The
here.
hill? What did they say? They said that you built it on the hill?
The slope.
Yeah, the slope.
The
slope.
5 a.m.
Yeah.
mornings for Cornell and the Big Red on the slope. The real ones know.
It's in honor of Slope Day. If I want to get the full Cornell men's lacrosse experience, I gotta run it myself. So we got Big Tasty, Big Dog Wallace up there. We got CJ timing.
What do you think, like 10 seconds?
12.
I can do this in 12. This would be big.
3, 2, 1, go!
Wow, let's go. But how we feeling? We got last guy Scotty on here.
Dude, what's up, everybody? I'm happy to be here once again with my boys. Listen, Cornell, 𝐍𝐄𝐋𝐿, Goldstein, just doing the damn thing. 10 goals between the two of them. I didn't have any questions.
Oh, you
this
didn't
whole
have
game.
any of those
I didn't have
goals?
any questions. I didn't have
Couple
any.
New Jersey
You know,
guys.
if I was
Couple New
on.
Jersey guys.
Did you hear
Jersey guy, 𝐍𝐄𝐋𝐿, Jersey.
Did you hear
Yeah,
that
just
goal?
a kid from Jersey.
That
Just
Goldstein
Jersey guy.
stat. I mean, I think that when we talk about Cornell, 𝐍𝐄𝐋𝐿 is obviously the first player we're always going to
Yes.
talk about. Let's talk about what Ron Goldstein did in May. 4 games this season where he had 4+ goals. You know when those 4 games came? All in May. Talk about a player that steps up.
And you know who I
Hold
want
up.
to talk about
Hold
stepping
He's a
up in
main
May?
man.
I got something for you. Hold up. Yo, I think Goldstein showed so much improvement from last year to this year. Before today, he was at 88 points. Last year, he had 33 points. He went from 33 to 88 points. And they always say, don't come back a year older, come back a year better. And Goldstein put the team on his back.
You want to know
There
my
we go.
guy? This tournament run, you know, he didn't have a great game in the quarters, but he showed up big in the semifinals when they kind of needed it, when the offense wasn't clicking, and he made a ton of timely plays today. White Nustin net was unbelievable.
Gosh.
Oh,
Championship
give the
weekend,
goalie some love.
Saturday
Give the goalie
and
some love.
Monday.
We got the
unbelievable.
crew. Look at that.
You see it?
That's
Hey, couple
awesome.
goals out of 22 today.
Yes,
There
sir.
he is.
That's right.
You see that?
Nuss played unforgettable, right?
Nuss was unbelievable.
I mean, how are you going to talk about Cornell with the semifinals performance from 𝐓𝐇𝐄 𝐿𝐿?
Yes.
The Long
Yes.
Island
Oh, yeah.
Railroad.
Yep.
Just an absolute train.
LIRR.
The Long Island Railroad, baby.
LIRR. I love it.
Hey, we gonna talk about Cascading? Come on
Get
now.
in here. What do you got to say?
Yeah.
Get in
We're
here.
going.
What do you gotta say?
What do you got to say?
Let's
to the
go
fans?
red, baby. It is all Big Red time.
It's all Big Red.
All
baby.
Big Red.
It's all Big Red.
All Big Red.
All Big Red.
All
you
day.
played football back in the day there?
Absolutely.
What position?
D-line, nose
I
There
wanna
we
take
go.
you down.
Oklahoma right now.
Right
with it.
now.
There you go again.
You
Take
taking
that.
the 97, the
Yeah,
77
come on.
team or this team?
77 or
This team.
25.
Oh, God. Folks, this
Good
is a
question.
different era. This is
76.
dinosaur era.
Oh, 76! He said 76! Wow, 76 over 77.
I want to
Wow.
get this off my chest.
What do you got?
What year you get out?
76.
76.
close is
6
it?
over
Yeah.
25. We'll
We
see.
talked about the fluky win that, Penn
Penn
State
State,
had.
yeah, they avenged it too in the
They
semis.
avenged the loss. We saw Notre Dame avenge the loss last year to Georgetown.
Right.
Let me say this right now.
season
Yeah.
with
I think
records.
Cornell should go down as one of the best teams of all time.
I
This
said,
is,
yeah.
this is the best offense I've seen
Kevin
of
Boiler.
this
Wait, here we
century.
go.
All right,
We tried
I
to
wanna
do
hear
this-
Kevin.
We
I
tried
wanna
to do
hear
this
Kevin.
with the Maryland team a couple years ago too. But can you be the best team if you have a loss? I know it's against Penn State in
Yes, you
overtime,
can.
but still, can you?
Kevin,
Yeah.
I want to hear Kevin.
Look, no, I think they were the best team this year, but this year was not like I think if they played Notre Dame last year, I think Notre Dame last year probably would have won. They were a more
I'm
complete
taking
team.
Cornell over last year's Notre Dame team.
Are you taking
Really?
2025 Cornell over 22 Maryland?
No, 22 Maryland. Best team of all
I'm
time.
taking 25
22
Cornell
Maryland.
over 22 Maryland. I mean, we
I'm
saw
taking
this team
Whoa.
as a younger version lose them by 2. A team that Maryland we saw lose gas.
Yeah.
Come back
That's
this
fair.
year.
That's a
beat
good
them by
point.
3 in the
That's a good
national
point.
I still have.
Are you
I
taking 25 Cornell over 23 or 24 Notre Dame?
Next question.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought. Yeah,
See, it's
Wow.
Cornell. He doesn't want to
wouldn't
say
say
it.
that.
though.
He wouldn't say that.
I think this is the best offense I have seen.
So it's
since
Cornell
I
doesn't
was-
want
I
to
was
say
there.
it.
Duke said it live on camera. Repeat that. Interesting.
It helps having the best player.
Yes.
I mean, CJ Kurtz is the best player at least since Pat Spencer, if not maybe longer.
100%.
Interesting,
And also,
interesting.
think about this Cornell team, going back to what you said, kind of not being talked about in like that all-time category. I'm not saying they're one of the top 2 or 3 teams ever,
We're
but
doing this already?
Mitch,
this
run.
team was legit. Offense,
Yes.
everything. They had a completeness. Face-off guys. 𝐓𝐇𝐄 𝐋𝐀𝐂𝐑𝐿 was unbelievable. This team, long time coming. I felt like they had the same kind of core guys year in, year out.
Yep.
Ryan Goldstein was huge. This team,
The beast.
And the
best
most
team start
the
to finish,
beast,
number
man.
1 team.
Yeah.
The unsung hero, I feel like all year long for them. I don't know why he's not talked about more. Michael Long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about a
The
steady
beast.
presence that he's
Glue
been since he
guy.
came on
Glue
campus.
guy.
Blue guy for sure.
Glue guy, and someone that every PLL GM should be looking at right now and be like, I want that guy on my
How come
team.
no one picked him up?
Doesn't have 3 million followers.
Oh
Wow,
my
Kev.
God. Ben,
Wow.
Kevin, what?
Oklahoma drill.
'Cause he
Drip
doesn't like
King
face
versus
it.
Kevin Boiler.
Oh my God. I'm
We'll
going
see
with the
soon.
Jersey guy, Kevin Boiler.
But why didn't he get picked up? Dukes, in your opinion, talk to me.
That's crazy.
Why did he not get picked up?
He's having a second.
Look, we could get car care all day. We could look at what his
Investment
internship,
banking,
investment
followers.
banking. Is he working insurance? We don't know. But he's a hell of a lacrosse player, capped off a hell of a career. The 2 Del Barton boys got it done tonight.
Bang.
Del Barton.
Today.
Yeah.
Let's
Del
go.
Barton.
Del
Yo, and you
Barton.
mentioned earlier, you said, what does this mean for Connor Buczek? We did the research before this. Connor Buczek is the 2nd youngest head coach to ever win the national
Who's
championship.
the youngest?
Coach for Hopkins, 1984. I forget the name right now, but
Doesn't matter.
31 years old.
Yo, the Connor Buczek
So he's the
photo.
youngest.
Pay your homage.
There was 8 teams in the
Pay your
tournament
homage.
back then.
Pay
Well,
your
that's what I'm
homage.
saying. You mean this is a start of something awesome for them. I know they're losing CJ Kurtz. I know they're losing Michael Long, but I do think Buczek has his team on an awesome trajectory, and that's what it
Is
means
this
for
Buczek
them.
4th, 5th year? 4th or 5th year? One of the 2?
This is
One of
it
them.
came in during COVID.
2020,
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's the-
5.
Year
Four
5,
and a half.
2
4.5.
championship weekends, 2 championship game appearances, and now finally gets that national championship. Look, Cornell's proud history, ton of tradition, but for a little bit of that kind of time, they get to the quarters but couldn't take that next
Yeah.
step. He's been here 5 years, and he's already got him here twice. They already have a national championship. The trajectory is just going to
And
keep
the
rising.
trajectory's on the rise. Because
Yeah.
again, he has a good strategy. Just recruit as many Garden City kids as possible, which we've seen pay off today.
Not a bad idea.
And
Hey, look at Adelphi.
look, Adelphi,
Yeah.
baby.
Delphi, baby.
Mark
Yeah,
Garden
Shout
yeah,
out
City.
to Delphi, baby. I love
Make it
those
move.
boys.
Seriously, talk about number 33, Brendan Staub. I think I've talked about him all tournament long. I've talked about him all year long. He is an unbelievable player that makes little winning plays that I don't think stand out on the stat sheet.
Yep.
He had a huge ground ball at the end of that game, knocks down passes, one-on-one defense against Eric Spanos. Spanos had 2 goals today, but they weren't against Staub.
Yeah.
Staub played excellent defense,
He did.
shut down for the most part their best player, and I think he's a winning player, and then cascaded. I mean,
Yep.
awesome tournament. Didn't have the best day. It was a lot of 50-50 scrums. If you're Maryland, this is what makes I think the win even more impressive. And you're like, hey, if we could even off the
The
face-off
face
battle,
off for them was
Right.
key,
And
and they got it.
and we're
still
going to talk
here.
about what they did bad. I don't even think Cornell rode the ball especially well today.
Yeah.
What was Maryland doing on those
Yeah.
clears in the
Nope.
second?
Yes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Cornell
I liked what
capitalized
Kev
on
said
their
earlier,
mistakes.
kind of going back to the point. Me and Kev, by the way, only 2 guys took Cornell here on the
That's
national
true, that's true,
championship
that's
right
true.
there.
I did
Check
take
my
Utah
bracket.
But I'm
University.
not going to lie, before the game, I took Cornell, and I was a little worried. Not worried, but I thought Maryland was going to have a little bit of a better game plan to start. It kind of seemed like Cornell, from the opening whistle, was really ahead the whole time.
They
Cornell looked like, Maryland was kind of struggling to keep up the whole kind of way. Even though it was close on the scoreboard, there was that difference from start to finish. Was not expecting that.
How many more days of preparation would have John Tillman needed to win the game? Like, if this game was tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or Wednesday.
Maybe 2 more packs of Keurig pods, man.
Yeah.
Maybe he just should have stayed up all
They
night.
played 10 times.
Or a bigger
How many's
iPad.
Cornell winning?
Yeah.
I think
Dude,
7. I was going to say
Need one of
7.
those
I think
screens.
7 of the 10 Cornell
The flat
wins.
screen.
What was the biggest difference in this game? You said the face-off for Maryland, if they dominated that, they potentially could have won the game. They kind of went back and forth, and they still lost. What else did Maryland need to
I
go
think
well
when you
for them
look
to
at
win?
Wyatt Nustin, how he played in net, if
Yeah,
you're
the
going
goalie play was
right,
amazing.
McNady's been awesome. He's been a steady hand, but we kind of said before the game, if Maryland wants to win this game, Logan McNady will be the most outstanding player because he's
Right.
going to have to be outstanding. He wasn't outstanding. He
I
was
don't think
ordinary.
I don't think he was bad, but
He
you're
wasn't
right.
bad.
I would have never guessed going into this game
Yes.
that Wyatt Nuss would have outplayed Logan
100%.
McNady.
And also
100%.
from the perspective of looking at the offense here, I say from looking at the offense, you needed for Maryland,
looking
CJ
for
Kearse to have a 0-for-0 game, not go for 6 goals and 5 in the second half.
It's
That's
still
not a
win,
winning
it's still
formula.
win.
And one more thing that I think is very underrated with Cornell. They're the best third quarter team in the country, in
Yes.
my opinion. They always come out and
Yep.
explode.
That's what I
Hurst
was
came
saying.
out
They
on
set it all-
fire.
Yeah.
Hurst came
Fire.
out
He was
on
not letting that
fire.
trophy not get in his
He
hand.
didn't need a heat check. He didn't need a heat check. That second half, bro, was
But
ridiculous.
how
with
were the
the 6-5
craziest
lead.
wins in May? Penn State, CJ scoring 0 and them still getting it done.
Yeah.
I know. Perfect
Yeah.
example of
That-
just
that
this
says a lot.
Cornell team being a team,
Yes.
not just one guy, even though it's one guy we talk about all the time. We also mentioned 5, 6, 7, 8 other guys
Yes.
who deserved the shout outs because they stepped up at different points, whether it was in this game or throughout the NCAA
Yeah,
tournament.
and Cornell all year has looked like a runaway freight train. Like no one's stopping this offense. No
But what
one's
Pete
stopping their
Clark
team.
said is sometimes they play in outer space. No
Yeah,
one
and
really
then you
knows.
look, unbelievable what they did in the Ivy League championship game, slaughtering Princeton in the end. And then they kind of struggled a little bit in the first half against Albany. And then not a lot of things went their way against Richmond, but they found a way. And then CJ Kearse gets nothing. They still win. It's just this team had so much depth, so many players all over the field that no matter what, if the team wasn't clicking or something wasn't going right, they were able to overcome it every time. That's rare. That
When
shows
did
how
you
good
know
this
it?
team was?
And you
when
all- one more thing, really sorry, Kev, but one more thing also that I think is so underrated with great teams is the production that you'll get from the second midfield, the midfield unit, not your star
Great
players.
second midfield.
And you saw that last year with Notre Dame. Your
Yes.
second midfield unit throughout May really stepped up. Waldman
Yes.
on Cornell,
Yeah.
number 3.
Yeah.
I think just like giving you that 1 to 2 points per game that you need to kind of get your offense over the hump. I think he's very, very underrated.
They had depth. They had depth. And I think that's why they obviously got here.
Yeah.
You think they're good?
They're amazing. But for
Who saw
Buczek,
that coming?
For Buczek, though,
Yeah.
what does that mean for his career? 5 here, 2 appearances, 1 win. Like, is it a young?
Look,
is he
he's
young
got
Tillman born?
He's
Is he young
got a
Tillman
challenge.
being
He's
born?
got a challenge. He's got to replace Long and Cursed.
Yes.
We'll see. Next year is going to be really interesting. We started off talking.
He's got Ryan Goldstein,
Yeah,
though.
he's
Talk
got
about
Goldstein.
Goldstein.
He's got
All right, I'm curious to see what Goldstein looks like without 2
He's gonna be the
elder
one now.
statesmen on the
Elder
opposite sides of
statesmen.
him.
We are in Boston.
Is
Awesome.
We got to get Ty Sanders on.
Buczek, how do you say it?
Buczek.
Buczek.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time. Buczek, can you compare him to being the McVay of?
Yes,
Ooh, that's
that's
a
what,
great
exactly.
comparison.
That's what I was going for.
Right?
Yeah.
He's the Sean
Nice guy,
McVay
Scotty.
of
I love
college
But
lacrosse.
it's also so special
guy,
for Buczek,
absolutely
too.
killing it.
You got what I was
I
going
mean,
for?
think about Buczek. He's a Cornell player, obviously had a great career as a player at Cornell, comes back and coaches them at the young age he still is.
Yep.
When he was playing there, he's talking to haven't won it since 77.
Yep.
He wanted to win one as a player, wasn't able to get it done, unfortunately for him while playing, but then comes back and gets it done as a coach. It's always extra special when you win it at your alma mater rather than being a
His
fan.
brother's on staff too. Like
Yeah.
having the family
It's so
environment
cool.
is huge.
And I think just like when we look back at, like we saw the Jeff Teat years, Cornell seemed to be getting back into this groove of becoming a national powerhouse again under Pete Milliman.
Yeah.
The best thing that ever happened to the Cornell lacrosse program was losing Pete Milliman. Look at the trajectory of Johns Hopkins this year to Cornell. Connor Buczek is the best thing that's happened to this lacrosse
Legend.
program.
And I just love from afar, obviously played at Ohio State, Manhattan, like looking from afar at the Cornell program. I just admire the way that they do things. Obviously the hard hat is a tradition of itself and it's iconic. But other things, like we talk about that cotton gray T-shirt that they tuck in every day. What's it called?
The Teagle.
The Tig. I mean, the things that they do from a cultural program perspective.
And they still wear this.
It's one of the best.
Jeff Teet's still warming up in the Teet, the Cornell Teet. Like, that's tradition.
Yep.
That's what makes them special, right?
They got a true
again, I was
brotherhood.
there in the fall. New locker room, but not the nicest facilities. That's Cornell Big Red Lacrosse.
I mean, let's be real. It's 𝐓𝐇𝐄, New York. There's not a ton of stuff up there. The recruiting
Oh,
it's
easy.
true.
It's
We're just
beautiful
being
up there.
real. This team is
Yeah.
close. The team chemistry really goes a long way.
Lacrosse.
And on top of the culture thing, he just beat John Tillman, who was a Cornell guy.
Yep.
Yes.
In the semifinals, he beats Jeff Tambroni, a Cornell guy.
Yeah.
This championship weekend was
With
Cornell
Cornell.
culture dripping beyond the current program
Yes.
into the teams they even beat.
And how special is it that Cornell wins the national championship in the same stadium that they honestly should have beat Syracuse in and lost in overtime to come back and get that championship back in that stadium?
And because they
Revenge,
couldn't clear the
flag
ball.
planted.
Because they couldn't clear the ball, and even more poetic, Maryland couldn't clear the ball today.
Yeah.
They
Full
reclaimed
circle.
Gillette.
It's
They
full circle.
reclaimed
It's
Gillette.
full circle.
Full circle.
And that's what it's all about here. For Big Red, let's not take a peek into next year. Is it too early? But what do they really need to do
Dynasty?
next year?
Are they a dynasty yet?
So if I'm Cornell and I'm looking at what I can do to win a national championship last year, I'd immediately go, how do we get CJ Curry some eligibility? I sue the NCAA tomorrow. I'm like, we need one more
The
year.
Ivy rules and COVID.
Are they your
We might have
preseason
to
number
use
one?
the hand.
Yeah.
Use the hand to get
Are
a
they
medical red
preseason
shirt.
number one? I don't think so.
No.
I think Maryland owns
No,
it.
I think Maryland next year will be preseason number one. They
Yeah.
return a lot of guys. Obviously, they bring in Christian Lyons, Leo Johnson, the two stud Yale transfers.
guys.
They're going to be a lot
They
to
have
deal
to
with.
be
They're
number
going to have
one.
to replace
They have to
Logan McNaney, obviously. He was a legend.
But they got Brian Rupel.
Yeah.
They got Brian Rupel, and they have that legend. Who's the freshman?
Marco Lombardi.
Yeah.
Seibel.
So he'll be
Seibel.
big, too. They
Seibel.
bring back, Will Schaller, one of the best defenders in the country, first
Yep.
team All-American. So tons of
Spanos
studs.
back, Urksa
Spanos.
back.
Spencer Ford,
Young
freshman, top 5, redshirt. this
Yeah,
year.
I
He's
think
gonna be
Maryland's
back.
got to be preseason number one for next
I
year.
think so too.
You always
Yeah.
know those young cats.
Those young cats. I mean, that's what is going to make up this Maryland team next year. A lot of these guys are going to have to step up.
Yep.
Would Syracuse be 2 or would Cornell be your 2?
Oh, yeah, I have a take. I have
Yeah.
a take to get off.
I
know-
love when Duke
I
has a
know,
take.
And I know that Kev was talking heavy last week about, Joey Spallina got snubbed for the Tewaaraton. And I'm not going to say that Joey Spallina didn't deserve to be in the Tewaaraton race. But somebody
Over.
somebody that I think got snubbed from the Tewaaraton this year,
Yeah.
I know Kev was saying Joey Spallina, Goldstein.
Yeah.
Talk about someone
I
that
love
think
Ryan
deserved to get in
Goldstein's
more.
game.
90-plus points. We're talking Spallina last week going into the semifinals. He's got 90-plus points. This hasn't been done since Syracuse, since Mikey Powell. Okay, Ryan Goldstein just did it. And he has CJ Kurz next to him. I know that might make it a little bit easier. But
Kev?
man, we saw Spallina.
talk.
Spallina
Yeah,
got.
Kev,
Spallina got.
I'm be quiet.
Spallina wants to be loud on the mic after the quarterfinals, saying like, "You can't guard me." I guess I can't dodge. Gets an offer in the semifinals. Goldstein hasn't gone quiet once in the big moments.
I love
I don't
Goldstein's
know.
game.
Yeah, but my point was that Joey Spallina still got further and had a bigger performance than any of the other finalists other than CJ Kurz at that point. Look, I even said it last week on the podcast. I was like, he's got to be careful because he's going to have to run past Will Schaller, and I don't think he's going to be able to do that. He did it a couple times during the regular season. He couldn't do it during the semifinals. I think Syracuse overall was a team that was happy to be there. Maryland knew the job wasn't done. I think, when I'm looking at that game, yeah, you need more from Joey Spallina, but I need more from Gary Gate. Look, you can get so far. You can get so far by being the best recruiter, getting all the best talent, having the spiciest team, social media, everyone loves you, you're on TV, you're a superstar, everyone wants to play for you. John Tillman does something different. We talk about it with the swag list.
Maryland
players and
swag
stuff.
is Maryland swag.
Exactly.
One of one.
And
Yeah.
I wasn't taking a shot at Joey Morse trying to hype up Brian Goldstein.
And-
I believe that the best players should be rewarded when they step up in the big moments. And this kid consistently for Cornell, even CJ in the semifinals, had
Never
most
goal.
production.
Did
Goldstein always stepped up. Michael Long
yeah.
always stepped up.
Goes back to the team aspect.
And on the flip side, too, looking at it from Maryland's perspective, obviously they've lost back-to-back national championships now. So do you think this is a product of, Maryland just played two teams in that Notre Dame team, this Cornell team, that were just some of the best teams ever, elite buzzsaws? Or was it more just Tillman getting this team to the farthest they could be when they probably maybe shouldn't have been in the championship game?
That's kind of my take on it.
You
Where
know?
I look at Maryland and I think they're chronic overperformers.
Yeah.
And it's not like they don't have great players. We just listed off a bunch of them and why they should be number one heading into the season next year. But that's not the way we looked at them entering this year. Even though they were coming off a national championship appearance.
And that's the thing with Tillman that we talk about. Everyone wants to talk now. He's 2-7 in national championship games. Bottom line is, the record on paper doesn't look great, but he gets his team, whether they're good enough to win it all or they shouldn't even be, They should be a first-round exit. They all end up in the same place
Is
at
this
the
team
end.
similar like last year?
Very similar. I think this team's better than last year, for
Yes.
sure. This team would beat last year's team.
But you still think they should
But
have
I
got here?
still don't think that this team this year was
But they
a true national
haven't
champion.
peaked yet. That's the thing is like they're a year away from peaking,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is what's scary
It's
about
just
Maryland.
he's maxed them out 2 years in a row when they shouldn't have been here, and they're in the championship twice.
Yeah, I mean,
That
if
goes
you're
back
talking
to
about
ball.
coaching. Goes back
It
to
goes
coaching.
back to
We were
Tills.
talking
He's a
in the-
wizard.
We were talking about in the press conference about like these core group of guys that like Notre Dame's leaving. You know, you got UNC next year with Duffy,
Yes,
Petro.
Petro.
You got Michael Leo. You got Spallina next year
Yeah.
with Cuse. This crew of Maryland guys are again going to be somewhat slept on in the Lacrosse Network social media
Always gonna be
game
slept
because they don't have the names, and it's not. We're joking
You're
about
right,
it, but
though.
it is like we're like, oh, like can they do it with Erska? Can they do it with Spanos? Can they do it with this core? It's like, yeah, probably. They made 2 back-to-back national championships.
Let's just make amends now. They will be one of the 4 teams in the Final Four.
Maryland
And that's
will
it.
be in Charlottesville next
All
year.
next season, season 3 of the show.
Everyone-
we're gonna
Maryland
talk
will
about
be in
who the other
Charlottesville.
3
And I
teams.
don't think Virginia will.
Oh, really? Already? You don't think so?
All right, early Final Four picks next year. Who we got?
Let's
What
go. Let's
teams?
start with you. Early Final Four picks for Charlottesville.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Rutgers.
Oh, my
right.
God.
Yo, who wants to hop on?
Yo, you're crazy, man. All right, Rutgers, Maryland, Notre Dame, and I'm gonna throw Cornell in it.
Okay. Kev?
All right, I'm going to go Maryland, Syracuse, UNC, Army. Bring it back to the beginning of the season.
Wow. Dukes. Dr. Dukes. What do you think about that?
It is what it is. I can see it happening. They return a lot of good players next year. I don't think they will. They'll probably crash out in the Patriot League finals.
Yep.
Patriot League will be a one-bid league again. BU, congratulations. You know, I'm probably going to go Maryland. Let's get Cornell back there.
Okay.
The vibes are high here.
Okay.
It doesn't seem
like
like a funeral, like something's ending. It feels like something's beginning here.
Okay, I like that.
So I'm going to go Cornell, Maryland, Notre Dame, Fighting Irish,
I was waiting for it.
K-Core, figure it out again with Sean Light and that tenacious defense.
K-Core.
Yup.
That defense is going to light itself up next year.
Sean
I
Light
think
clamps.
everyone gets older.
You can say Rutgers, don't worry.
Not going to say Rutgers. Let's go. You know what? Why should I doubt Tambroni again?
Penn State.
I like that.
Penn State.
All right, I got Maryland. Death taxes. Maryland's in there.
Yes.
Come on now. I'm going to take Syracuse. I think they get there.
It's a good.
North Carolina. Princeton.
Shit, I wanted to say that.
Really? I like the Princeton
Princeton,
call.
baby.
All right.
All right, I'm going
I wanted to say
Maryland.
that.
Death taxes, Maryland in the Final Four.
North Carolina.
I'm going Princeton. Tambroni still do.
You mean,
Or no, sorry. Penn State.
Madeline.
Tambroni still do. I'm going UVA. It's on the books. It's down in Charlottesville. It's meant to happen. And for the last team, I'm on with Dukes. Something is starting here,
Yeah,
not
it
ending.
is.
I see Cornell getting back.
Yeah.
I see Cornell getting back.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
All right. Well, we'll see who's right.
Yeah.
But Corey, save this recording, please.
Yes.
He's got the clip.
Also, can I get like a Ty Xanders rundown from somebody? Like, we do a Ty Xanders episode, like, yo, what young cats are coming in? Like, I can't
Yeah.
pay attention to the recruiting.
That is
rankings
true.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lennon
We need a
Millen.
recruiting
You
guy.
got like the
Millen's going
Mitchell
to
Pehlke
Virginia.
lacrosse experience. You know everyone from the 10
Teddy
years old.
Lally.
Who's
Going
got
to
the
Notre
coolest
Dame.
basement?
Yeah.
Teddy Lally. He's going to
Do
Notre
you
Dame.
think? I know you alluded to it last episode. Do you think John Tillman makes his own rankings and compares them to like Ty Xanders?
100%.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like
Tillman's never got the one guy.
I think
He
that like
never got the one
Mitch
guy.
and I were
wonder if
talking
he got
about
like the
it.
number 12 guy. He's like, that's actually my number one.
Mitch,
Spencer Ford last year was 5. He probably on his book thought he was 1.
Mitch
Just
and I
like
were
that.
talking. This might be the biggest compliment you could get on the recruiting circuit is if John Tillman recruits
Comes
you.
up to you.
Because you know he's only recruiting players that he thinks are at the top level. So if you get that call from Tillman, you're like, wow, I must be a good lacrosse player.
Yeah,
Top level and good for his system, man.
Yeah.
And how do you
That's
say
what
no
he
to Buczek right now?
Yeah, no,
seriously.
yeah.
I mean, how would you not? I mean, Buczek's come in the locker and be like, I mean, I've been here 5 years. I'm a young guy. I can still, dap it up with you.
And I think that's a lot of
I
player.
can't crack one with you now, but when you graduate,
That's a lot of player security, knowing your coach isn't going to go anywhere. Obviously, in the sport of lacrosse, not too many coaches get fired
Yeah.
or take different jobs. But to know Buczek, 5 years, 2 appearances, 1 championship win,
Yeah.
it's got to show a lot to the
And to
recruits.
be a
He's on
player
his way.
coach.
He's on that Tillman trajectory.
That's
He's
what
on
I'm
his
saying.
way.
He's
All he needs
only
is the
one
iPad.
behind Tillman
All he
now.
needs the iPad.
That's crazy.
And also to be
Isn't
like
that crazy?
to be a
That's
play-
actually wild. Yeah.
to be a
crazy?
player's coach and to be like, yeah, I'm a player's coach. I'm a young guy. Just played in the PLL. I can tell you how to get there. But also, I know how to win, and I win consistently.
Yeah.
And I'm at the top
He's
of the
got-
Ivy League, and I'll give
Yes.
you a good education in doing it too.
It's the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And being on the
Some
circuit,
might say.
being on the circuit with these young cats, Ivy League is the new way with these cats. They want the Ivy League education. A lot of
Why do you think
Princeton-
that is?
I just think it's the new generation. They want the high academics, high education. Hoagie and I making that pick? Absolutely not, but that's what these young kids want.
Is it that, or is it they also want to, like, there's schools like Ohio State where it's fun time football school, but you don't win national championships. You go to Cornell, you win national championships.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to win the Big Ten, Kev.
Yeah.
You want to win a national championship.
You want to be able to read and write, too.
Kev, where'd you go to college?
University of Mary Washington. First time he's asked me since I came on this pod.
No, because I knew that, and he played there. Corey, pop up the picks to Kev.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we'll
We've
see.
had a lot of great memories at Cornell. Obviously,
Yes.
not great memories, but
Didn't
a
you
lot
guys
of
lose
lacrosse
at Cornell?
memories, yeah. Our only NCAA tournament appearance was at Schlunkhoff. What is it?
Schoenkoff. We lost to
Rain
CJ
delay.
Curse,
Rain delay.
Chase Erlin.
And
Shout out.
you brought home a souvenir from that, right?
No.
Yeah, we got the banner, the NCAA tournament banner.
The banner,
It was
rest
in
in
our party
peace.
room. It's in my garage
121,
now.
don't forget
so.
about it. Don't forget about it. But what do we think about this tailgate versus Notre Dame's last year?
Wow. I mean,
Oh, I
it's
didn't
definitely
even get to see it.
last year's tailgate at Notre Dame was definitely hectic. I mean, we had the rain delay. It was a little later. We had the police car coming in trying to kick people out.
Yeah.
It was a lot more crazy. I think it was a lot more hectic. It's a lot more Natty champs.
It's the Ivy
fun
League way, it
vibes.
seems like.
Yeah.
Get chill, get a couple IPAs.
The Notre Dame last year had a bunch of Irish Catholics.
Irish
That's pretty true.
Catholics.
And I know how to speak that language.
We'll be back with a word from Duke Cannon. But first, we got to hop into the Duke Cannon Work Harder, Smell Better moment of the week. Hold on, we got Scotty on the show. Scotty, what are we working with today?
Check this
Let me
out.
see this. Let me see this real quick. It's sawtooth. Let me see.
Sawtooth is money.
What are we smelling?
Let me
That
smell.
smells good, dog.
The moment of the week. What do we
This
got?
is a deep cleaning brick of soap right
Hey,
here.
coming from Long Island, do you want to tell the fans about the moment of the week? Because it might have something to do with that.
Where am I from, Mitch?
Garden City.
Where's Adelphi from?
Garden
In their
City.
backyard.
Who won the D2 national championship?
Garden City.
Adelphi, baby!
Let's go.
Kyle Lewis!
Kyle Lewis,
Long
baby.
Island.
He's
Kyle
had his
Lewis,
Dame
Dame
time.
time.
It's Dame
Paul
time.
Rabel commented, Dame time, Kyle Lewis in overtime. Marco Lombardi's on the dog
Marco's
pile.
getting a ring, baby.
Marco Lombardi on the
Lombardi.
hot seat after that Kyle Lewis river. Marco Lombardi don't have a
But
spot next
shout
to
out
him.
to Adelphi, back to back.
Oh.
The boys from Long Island making it happen.
Yeah, Gordon Purdy. I mean, Delphi's a blue collar program, just gritty as anything. They recruit the Long Island blue collar guys, get it done at Gillette Stadium, beating a really good Tampa team.
Yeah.
They had about 14 D1 players. I know it's Toby, you were
And
saying.
Kev, talk to us about the
seven?
timeout situation.
I was going to say, I think the game winner in overtime was unassisted, but the unofficial assist goes to the head coach of Tampa, who called a timeout with 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
10
Empty
seconds
net.
And they
left.
scored.
Why?
And I'm going to say, whoever
me
says that
why.
D2 lacrosse
Tell
is not
me
real,
why.
you're a clown. Adelphi is my team moving forward. Those players are the best. The coach are the best. Electric juice. I'm an
100%.
Adelphi Panther now. Year in, year out, I'm following
Stamp
these
it in.
boys.
If you don't think
Legends.
D2's real again, watch that game. Watch the full game. It's on YouTube. Tampa versus Adelphi. Back and forth, back and forth.
You might see
overtime.
Mitch. Also, if you watch the full clip, you might see Mitch diving into a dog pile as the players are
a
stopping.
wig
I might
on.
have a wig on.
That was Marco Lombardi.
I saw Marco
Yeah,
Lombardi.
Mitch, I wasn't
That
even
wasn't
there.
Mitch.
Also, Adelphi's got the McDougal blood.
They do.
My cousin,
They
4-year
do.
starter
I think-
at Adelphi goal.
You guys see Delphi's fans?
Is Marco getting a ring?
Marco, Coach Purdy, Volpe, I'm talking to you.
Checkmate.
Let's go.
Checkmate lacrosse. Gordon Purdy.
Let's go! The players just arrived. We're getting to go. National champs, baby.
Let's go, baby. Natty champ.
Wallace in the building. How we feeling?
Feeling good. Feeling good. Fired up.
Just walked off the bus. We're probably dancing in the locker room. We got a couple beverages waiting for us. National champs since the 70s. How we feel? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Walk us
How
through
does
it.
it
How you
feel?
feeling right now? Walk us through it.
Unreal. You know, think about this moment for your whole life, and we talked about it for a year. We talked about it with Mitch this
In
fall
the fall,
when he came
baby,
up.
the tightest team in Division I.
Run the
lacrosse.
clips. We talked
Run
about
the
it. We're
clips.
here, baby. We did it. This is Walker Wallace. Welcome to Cornell University.
Let's go! Let's go!
We usually bring it up after the slope. Coach Halley gives us a speech. You know, you got your arms wrapped around the boys. Talks about how these are moments you're going to remember.
We just interviewed a lot of the alumni that set the foundation for you guys to win it here in 2025. What do you have to say to all the people that have done it for you today?
That's who we did it for, the long red line. You know, it's been a long time since we got a national championship. It's the 21st anniversary of George Boyardi's passing. Year 21, he wore 21. That's why we did it. Love this program, bringing it back to Ithaca.
It's written in history. It's written in history.
Just won the national championship. I got one question for you. When's the next water you're going to have?
It could be a little while.
Could be a little bit.
Might
Yeah, it
be
might
coming
be a
over
little
under
while.
3 days. Over under 3 days.
It could
I'll
be a
take
little
the
bit.
over.
Walker, I want to ask you about your journey. I know you're a converted goalie. Tell me about what this program means and like how it shaped you as a lacrosse player.
Yeah, I came here to be a part of the program. I didn't come here to, you know, try to be a goalie or try to do anything specific. I just wanted to contribute to this team. The last time we made this run, I just saw that and I was like, I want to be a part of it. And the coaches believed in me, my family believed in me, everybody around me believed in me, and here we are, national championship, and couldn't feel fucking better.
God damn, I love it. Hey, a kid from Virginia too. Don't let it forget him. Come on, just a kid from Virginia. Go, Let's go. We got Coach Buczek in the hot seat.
Hey, not just a coach anymore, national championship head coach.
Coach, how does it feel? Just hopped off the bus. You're meeting and greeting fans, alumni. How does it feel for you?
Incredible. I'm so happy for our fan base, for our program, for our university. You look around, it's the best family in college lacrosse. These guys deserved it, and so we all did it together. These guys make this place what it is.
Coach, I was there in the fall. There was something special about what you've created and what the guys feel the day in, day out. I made the title of the video, the tightest team in Division I lacrosse, for a reason. Is that something you preach?
It is. I mean, we're about a brotherhood. We're about bringing the right people in, challenging them in every way possible, and when they take hold of that, something pretty special can happen, and we had an incredible group of young men that got it done this year.
Yeah.
Coach, incredible run. Spent a lot of season at #1. Only one loss on the year. Tell me, what were some of the challenges that you felt your team had to overcome this year?
Yeah, like you said, being #1 in the country is a hard thing to manage when you haven't been there before. First time for us since 2007 being at #1 in the country, and so making sure the mentality was right, that we weren't content with being #1 in March and April and May. It's about winning on Memorial Day, and for our guys to stay true to the process. We're just trying to go 1-0 every week, and they did that every day since then.
Coach, talk to me about coaching a talent like CJ 𝐂𝐄. I'm a big fan of the 𝐂𝐂 family. There's so many families of lacrosse, the Stanwicks, the Kavanaughs, the 𝐂𝐂s. What's it like coaching CJ 𝐂𝐂, such a special talent, special person?
It's an incredible blessing. He's a special young man. He's built different. He's tough, hardworking, competitive, but incredibly humble, incredibly team-oriented. He's one of the best teammates I've been around, and when your best player is your hardest worker and your best teammate, that sets this bar pretty high for the rest of your team.
Yeah, and Coach, obviously you were a legendary player at Cornell, right? You always want to bring home that national championship. You just got hired pretty recently. You've only been the head coach for a short amount of time, but in that short time, you've already made 2 championship weekends, 2 national championship game appearances, and now you finally got that. What's been the key to kind of getting that national championship? What do you think's made you guys so successful in such a short amount of time?
So it's been pretty cool, right? I committed on the heels of the 2009 national championship where we lost to Syracuse. The goal was always to get to this point and to push this program over the top. Realistically, the blueprint was laid. We know what Cornell lacrosse is, and people who came far before me have set this tradition, have created this family atmosphere, has created the brotherhood and the culture and the standard. It's up to us just to uphold that, and so kudos to our staff, kudos to our players. We're just trying to be the best version of Cornell lacrosse that we can be.
Coach, you've had a hell of a year. You've just won the national championship. So when you look back after this whole year, what would you say is one thing that you learned?
I learned that when it works from within, when the players drive the leadership and the culture, that you can be pretty special. We can help and we can lead and we can guide, but it's their program. And the ownership that I felt this year from our senior class, from every player on our roster, really was the difference.
Yeah, and then too, Coach, every year you want to win a national championship. You expect to win a national championship, right? But some years are different than others. At what point or what moment this year did you realize, all right, this team really can do it? Is there a specific
I think from the jump we felt good about this roster, this team, where they were at, and coming off, being very disappointed last year. We knew that they were going to come with a certain edge, and I think, the ability for them to play in that championship, to have that experience, to lose the national championship, bow out in the first round, missed the dance last year. The sense of urgency was real, and these guys got it done every single day.
Coach, last question from me. I know we talked about CJ 𝐂𝐂, what a special player he is, obviously, but we saw how bandaged up that hand was. Can you speak to his toughness and what he was dealing with going into this game?
He's nails. He's nails. We had so many guys playing with so many different nicks, bruises, injuries, but when you get to this stage in the season, you just got to gut it out, and the toughness that our team showed really pushed us over the top.
He's nails.
What were some of the messages you got from the alumni in the week or the days leading up to this game?
Our alumni love this program. They love everything about it. They give back. They spend so much time pouring into our young men in every facet and caring about who they are as people, their networking, their career development, them as student athletes, them as just upholding the tradition that is Cornell lacrosse. And so we're fortunate. What you see right now is not a single occurrence. It's not a one-day occurrence. It's every day of every year. And so we're special to have the Cornell lacrosse family behind us.
Now, last thing from me. You're a young coach. You just retired. You ever look at your guys and be like, I could still do this?
There was a time a few years ago, not anymore. I'm old, I'm over the hump.
Over the hump. All right, thank you so much.
Congrats, Coach.
Congratulations.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
National championship head coach.
Coach.
Yeah.
We got the championship
We got the
trophy
trophy
here.
at the
And this
tailgate.
is
Look
how
at this.
we're going to close out 2025 championship weekend with the trophy. How does it feel, fellas?
It's unreal.
It's insane. It doesn't feel. It's crazy. It's insane. This is the best thing ever.
Best day of my life.
Best day.
of my
This is
life.
what you dream for when you're a young buck. That's going to wrap it up here in Gillette 2025 championship weekend. The
Yep.
trophy on set.
Turn up, Big Red National Champions
Let's go.
2025, baby.
Let's go, let's go. Hey. We just won it. How do we feel as alumni? You guys set the stones for these guys.
A national championship, baby! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! That's right, Ella.
That's what it's all about, baby. Setting the foundation for these cats. All right,
Where's
hurry
Hogan?
up. What do you got to say?
Hogan, Richmond, New Jersey. Let's fucking
Double
go.
fist
Big
and
Red,
IPA,
let's
Bud
fucking
Light.
go.
National champ, baby!
National champs, baby!
Wait, can we do like a big red champ?
Probably in the world. Story, finish, baby. Let's go.
Let's go, Red! 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 Let's go, Red!
Let's go. This is crazy. Let's go.